mean, I think it always feels good to get praised, but unfortunately, like as a team, like the thing that matters the most to me is, that I play the best I possibly can and that we play the best we possibly can as a team. And right now, I think we're losing way too much. So at the same time, like because people are hyping me up so much, I'm also getting a lot of flack from the community because I'm supposedly, one of the best players, but like we keep losing as a team. So there's like a bad side to it as well, like getting praised so much because people have so high expectations of you. So at the same time, I'm getting a lot of flack from the community. I feel like that's like pretty undeserved because I don't think like people are calling me a KDA player, for example, because I rarely die, and I think that's really weird to me because I think the reason I don't die is because I position better than every other mid laner, and I just think I make less mistakes in general. Like I rarely die to ganks, and I generally position pretty well in team fights. Like sometimes there'll be slip ups, for example, but I think as a mid laner, like your job is to put out as much damage as possible while being as safe as possible. Like there'll be times where you can go like for those flashy flash in, and like you might die for it, but I think as a mid laner, like the most important thing is being consistent. So that's kind of what I'm going for.
Not a KDA player.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, pretty much. Normally I always get sick when we travel, but I was actually the exception this time around. But I'm pretty sure everyone else was like really sick. Like Sneaky legit lost his voice. Like he couldn't talk at all. Like we would scrim and Sneaky would just not say a single word because his voice was so bad. Impact couldn't play on stage because he was too sick, and just everyone like was sick in some sort of way besides me. So it was pretty tragic. But we're starting to get better. I'd say the biggest takeaway from Rift Rivals wasn't actually like about playing too much against the EU teams. We learned a few things like regarding like the picks and style, but I think it was more like we learned more about like how we should play better as a team ourselves. Like, for example, we would learn that just the whole like early game priority and that kind of thing, like just play better around pressure. Honestly, like I wouldn't really say there was that much we could take away from Rift Rivals. There was like small things about our own play, but I don't really think we learned too much from playing the European teams. I like international events. I think EU was slightly behind meta, so it wasn't as hard for the NA teams as I maybe expected. Like I said, I think international tournaments are great because you learn how other regions play. I wish it would be more international, but not just with EU. The thing that sucked though was that we had to travel to Europe, to Berlin, and it was only for like a week. So it didn't really like mid-split, it didn't really like seem worth it to me because it's just such a long travel and so much time loss for an event that basically didn't really mean much besides like NA Pride, of course, which is cool, but like I think I didn't like the format too much. I think something should be changed about the format for sure, and I think the winner should be rewarded more. I'm not sure. He's really fun to play. I wouldn't say he's good for competitive at all, but I think he can be pretty good and pretty fun to play in solo queue.
Not gonna pull him out for us?
I don't think my coach would allow that. I would be down to try it out for sure, but I feel like he has some really tough matchups.
For more league interviews and analysis, subscribe to our channel. You can also find stats, discussions, and more on our website and mobile app at blitzesports.com.